Don't force anything in your life. Not people, not plans, not outcomes, not even healing. There's a quiet wisdom in letting go, in releasing your grip, in allowing life to unfold, not as you demand, but as it's meant to. We live in a world that glorifies control. We're taught to push harder, grind longer, hustle endlessly. We're told that if we just try enough, force enough, want enough, it'll all come together. But what if that's not true? What if the most powerful shift in your life comes not from forcing, but from flowing? What if peace begins when you stop chasing and start trusting? This is your reminder. You don't have to force what's meant for you. You never did. Let's take a journey together. A journey away from struggle and into surrender. Because what's truly meant for you will never need to be forced. Forcing things is exhausting. It drains your spirit. It fills your days with anxiety, your nights with overthinking. You begin to question your worth when things don't move fast enough. You think, maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm falling behind. But here's the truth. Sometimes you're not behind. You're being protected, redirected, refined, prepared. Life isn't a straight line. And what you think is a delay is often divine timing in disguise. You weren't made to chase. You were made to align. Think about the moments in your life that brought you the most peace. Were they forced, or did they arrive gently, naturally, like a breath you didn't know you were holding? Love that's forced feels heavy. Friendships that are forced break easily. Success that's forced never satisfies. But love that flows fills you. Friendships that grow last. Success that's aligned nourishes you. You can't force what's not meant to stay. And you don't have to chase what's already yours. Sometimes letting go is the strongest thing you can do. Let go of the timeline you thought you should be on. Let go of the people who don't see your worth. Let go of the outcomes you're gripping so tightly. There's a power in release. It creates space. Space for new beginnings. Space for unexpected blessings. Space for miracles. You see, when your fists are clenched, you can't receive anything. But when your hands are open, the universe has room to pour into you. Don't force. Flow. Forcing is fear. Flowing is faith. One says, I must make it happen, or it won't. The other says, I trust that what's for me is finding me. One is rooted in control. The other is rooted in confidence. You don't need to micromanage the universe. You don't have to beg life to bless you. You are already worthy. You are already chosen. You are already guided. All that's meant for you is on its way. Here's the truth they don't teach in school. Not everything is yours to fix. Not everything is meant to last. Not everyone is supposed to stay. And that's okay. Your life isn't falling apart. It's falling into place. You're not losing. You're learning. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. So breathe. Let go of the pressure to force things. Let life surprise you. When you stop forcing, you start noticing. You start hearing the quiet voice inside you. The one that says, this isn't right. This is draining me. This no longer fits. And even though change is scary, peace is waiting on the other side of honesty. Don't force yourself to stay where you've outgrown. Don't shrink to fit in. Don't beg to be chosen. Don't chase what won't grow. You're not meant to fight your way through life. You're meant to feel your way through it. Feel what brings peace. What energizes you. What lights you up. That's your path. There's a difference between effort and forcing. Effort is healthy. Effort means showing up with intention, with heart. It means doing your part. But forcing? Forcing is when you go beyond your soul's boundaries, when you ignore your intuition, when you push just to prove your worth. And that's not strength, that's survival mode. You weren't born to survive your life. You were born to live it. Fully. Freely. Fully alive. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to make it all happen today. You just need to be present. To trust. To let the next step find you. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is pause. Pause the panic. Pause the proving. Pause the pressure. And listen. What is your life trying to tell you? Where are you pushing too hard? Where are you not being honest with yourself? Where are you clinging out of fear instead of faith? The answers don't come when you force them. They come when you're still. Let go of forcing conversations. Let go of forcing connections. Let go of forcing success. Let go of forcing timelines. And most of all, let go of forcing yourself to be okay when you're not. You're allowed to rest, to feel, to heal, to grow in your own time. Life isn't a race. It's a rhythm. And when you stop forcing, you start flowing with it. You begin to attract instead of chase. You begin to create instead of control. You begin to receive instead of struggle. Growth doesn't always look like action. Sometimes growth looks like surrender. You don't always need to move faster. Sometimes you need to be still long enough for the answers to arrive. The most beautiful things in life grow naturally. A flower doesn't force itself to bloom. The sun doesn't rush to rise. The seasons don't compete with each other. They trust their timing. They trust the process. They trust life. You can too. Don't confuse force with strength. True strength is quiet. It's calm. It's peaceful. Strength is saying no when your soul is screaming. It's walking away when something doesn't align. It's waiting, trusting, breathing. When your mind wants to panic, you don't need to force anything to prove your power. Your power comes from your peace, from your presence, from your knowing. Knowing that what's for you will find you, and what's not won't. So today, choose ease, choose flow. Choose to stop forcing what isn't flowing, and in that space of surrender, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. You'll feel peace you thought was impossible, and you'll watch your life unfold in ways you never imagined, because life always works out. Maybe not how you planned, but always how it's meant to. Trust that. You don't need to force the river to flow. It finds its path. It finds its rhythm. It doesn't ask the rocks to move. It just keeps flowing. And that's what your life is asking of you right now. Stop trying to move everything. Stop trying to fix, chase, push, and manipulate. Stop exhausting yourself trying to control what was never yours to hold. Just flow. Let the lessons flow. Let the love flow. Let the truth flow. Let life flow. The tree doesn't force the wind to blow. It simply bends. It doesn't scream at the seasons to change. It simply waits. It knows its roots are enough. And you? You are enough. You don't need to force things to feel safe. You don't need to push people to understand you. You don't need to beg life to notice you. Your presence is already a gift. Your journey is already sacred. You don't have to force yourself into becoming someone else. You just have to become more of yourself. There will be days when nothing makes sense. When doors close, people leave, plans fall apart. And your first instinct might be to fight it, to grab tighter, to scream, "Why now? Why me?" Why this? But maybe it's not a setback. Maybe it's sacred redirection. Maybe that closed door was saving you. Maybe that delay is giving you space to become who you're meant to be. Maybe that pain is the soil your purpose will grow from. Don't force the understanding. Clarity comes later. Peace comes now. If you keep pushing, you'll burn out. If you keep forcing, you'll fracture your own peace. At some point, you have to pause and ask, is this pressure coming from alignment or from fear? Are you moving from love or from lack? You don't have to keep proving your worth through your exhaustion. You don't have to destroy yourself to build a dream. You can rest. You can pause. You can let go without giving up. Sometimes, surrender is the highest form of strength. Children don't force joy. They find it. They don't force friendships. They play. They don't force trust. They love easily, fearlessly. You were that child once, before life taught you to fear, to chase, to compete, to earn love. But your soul remembers. It remembers what it means to live lightly, to breathe deeply, to trust fully. You're allowed to return to that version of yourself, the one who flowed naturally, who believed life was good, who didn't have to force anything. It's okay if the path isn't clear. It's okay if you're still healing. It's okay if you don't have all the answers yet. Don't rush the unfolding. Don't force the process. The sunset doesn't hurry, and yet it's always on time. Your timing is perfect. Your growth is on schedule. Your journey is not behind. And no, you're not too late. You're right on time for your life. Nature doesn't force itself to grow. It simply allows the light to touch it, the rain to fall, the roots to reach deeper. So, why are you forcing yourself to bloom before you're ready? Healing takes time. Dreams take time. Alignment takes time. You're not failing because it hasn't happened yet. You're becoming. And sometimes becoming requires stillness. It requires trust. It requires patience. We're obsessed with speed. We want fast answers, fast healing, fast results. But rushing creates resistance, and resistance is the enemy of peace. Don't force the top of the mountain. Fall in love with the climb. Don't force the result. Trust the work. Don't force the timing. Live the moment. Life is not a problem to be solved. It's a story to be lived. Let it unfold naturally. The more you rush, the more you miss. And the more you force, the more you suffer. Stop running from discomfort. Stop trying to avoid every storm. Let it rain. Let it cleanse. Let it teach. Some storms come not to break you, but to clear the path that was too crowded with things never meant for you. When you stop forcing the sun, you begin to appreciate the rain. When you stop forcing clarity, you begin to trust the fog. When you stop forcing joy, you begin to notice it in the smallest things. You're not here to force things. You're here to feel, to learn, to breathe, to be. You're here to laugh, to rest, to cry, to grow. You're not a machine. You're a soul, and your soul doesn't thrive under pressure. It thrives under truth, authenticity, stillness. So give yourself permission to stop, to step back, to let go. What's meant for you won't require you to twist yourself into knots, tear up the timeline, release the plan, delete the checklist if it no longer serves your heart. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not lost. You are human. You are evolving. You are unfolding. Don't let society's noise drown your soul's truth. Your pace is perfect. Your peace is your compass. Follow that. Do you know what happens when you stop forcing? You begin to notice the magic. You hear your own breath. You feel your heartbeat. You sense the divine order in all things. You understand that life isn't random, that every detour had meaning, that every no was protection, that every delay was direction. You realize that everything is connected, everything has purpose, everything is part of something bigger than you can see right now. You don't have to hustle for your worth. You don't have to force your destiny. You don't have to chase your place in this world. You already belong. You already matter. You already are enough. Let that sink in. You are not missing anything. You are not broken. You are not too late. You're just being prepared. Prepared for the love that doesn't need to be begged for. Prepared for the purpose that sets your soul on fire. Prepared for the life that flows effortlessly. This is the quiet revolution. Not to fight harder, but to soften. Not to control more, but to trust deeper. Not to force your way through life, but to feel your way into alignment. You don't need to fix everything right now. You don't need to be everything for everyone. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be present, be real, be open. Let life meet you there. So if something feels forced, step back. If it drains you, let it go. If it breaks your peace, release it. The right people won't require you to beg. The right opportunities won't pass you by. The right timing won't leave you exhausted. Trust what flows. Let go of what doesn't. And know, what's meant for you will never feel like a fight. It will feel like home. The ocean never forces its waves. It just breathes in and out, sometimes wild, sometimes still, but always in harmony. You too can live that way, with rhythm, with flow, with grace. There's no need to control everything, no need to grasp what wants to leave, no need to chase what's not choosing you back. What is yours will come, not through tension, but trust, not through force, but faith. A new day arrives without you asking for it. You don't beg the sun to rise. You don't schedule the sky. It just comes. On time. Without fail. And that's the reminder you need today. What's meant for you is on its way. It doesn't need your panic. It doesn't need your pressure. It just needs your presence. So slow down. Breathe. Welcome the moment you're in. That's where your life is unfolding. Creation doesn't rush. It requires stillness. It requires presence. If you force it, you lose the soul of the art. And your life is art. Don't rush the masterpiece. Don't demand answers in the middle of the painting. Some strokes don't make sense until you step back. Some colors look like mistakes until they become beauty. Let the story develop. Let your life breathe. Even the pauses are part of the painting. When was the last time you really listened to yourself? Not your fears, not your critics, not the voice that says, "You're not enough," but you, the still voice inside, the quiet knowing. You don't have to scream to be heard. You don't have to force your voice into the world. When you speak from peace, people feel it. When you live in truth, you radiate. When you align with love, life aligns with you. Let your energy speak louder than your effort. Let it go. Whatever is weighing you down, whatever you're gripping so tightly, that expectation, that fear, that pain, that need to control, let it go. You don't need to carry what's not yours. You don't need to hold on to what no longer fits. There is freedom in surrender. There is power in trust. There is healing in release. You are not losing. You are making space for what truly belongs. You might not see the way right now. That's okay. Not seeing the path doesn't mean there isn't one. Not having the answer doesn't mean you're lost. Not knowing what's next doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive. It means you're evolving. It means you're in the in-between. And that space, that sacred middle ground, is where the transformation begins. Be patient in the pause. Even when nothing's happening, something is. Not everything in life is meant to be chased. Not every moment needs to be filled. Not every silence needs to be solved. Some of the most important things will only come when you're still, when you're calm, when you're not trying. Wisdom arrives in the stillness. Love deepens in the slowness. Peace grows in the presence. Stop rushing your own becoming. Stop forcing your evolution. Just breathe. Be here. That's enough. Growth is quiet. Progress is subtle. You won't always notice your healing. You won't always feel your transformation. But trust me, every day you choose not to force. You grow roots. Every day you surrender control. You gain strength. Every day you let life unfold. You expand into your true self. So water your soul with grace. Feed your mind with gentleness. Shower your heart with faith. Stillness isn't emptiness. Stillness is power. In stillness, you hear what matters. In stillness, your soul speaks. In stillness, life whispers its secrets. When you stop forcing noise, you hear the truth. When you stop chasing the light, you notice you've always had it. When you stop demanding certainty, you discover your faith. The strongest people aren't those who shout. They're the ones who trust their silence. You don't need to force love. Real love flows toward you. You don't need to force connection. The right ones will find you, see you, stay. Stop holding on to those who let go of you. Stop chasing what runs. Stop proving your worth to people who cannot receive your soul. You are not hard to love. You are just asking for alignment. You are not too much. You're just meant for more. Let love come naturally. Let it rise without effort. Let it be soft, real, and reciprocal. Don't force yourself to be someone you're not. Don't shapeshift just to fit. Don't hide your truth to belong. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand in your light. There is nothing more magnetic than authenticity. There is nothing more beautiful than being fully yourself. So drop the mask, drop the pressure, drop the act, and show up as you. The people meant for you will recognize your light. This is your permission to stop controlling, to stop forcing, to stop fearing what happens if you don't push, and to start trusting. Trust that life is wiser than your fear. Trust that things fall apart, so better things can come together. Trust that you are already enough, already becoming, already whole. You were never meant to fight the current. You were meant to trust the river. You were never meant to push life into place. You were meant to dance with it. Don't force anything in your life. Let it unfold. Let it breathe. Let it reveal its magic. Because when you stop forcing, you start allowing. And when you start allowing, everything that's meant for you begins to flow in. The peace, the clarity, the love, the alignment. So breathe. Let go. Trust. Your life is not behind. It's becoming exactly as it's meant to.